everyone, Ray here from Two Gaming Girls. Thanks for stopping by, and if you enjoy this video, I hope you like and subscribe. Today we're going to do a little seashell farm testing. While building my fishbowl sandcastle here for the Creativerse contest, I collected a lot of shells. Doing so got me wondering about the most efficient way to farm them. So we're going to set up a few different mini farms and try to figure out what's the best method. So to start our testing, I've set up 4 9x9 squares. Where the grass is, we're going to put sand, and where the carpet is, we're going to put water. This way we can test how much water needs to be in the center of some sand and what that produces as far as shells. We'll also test it in reverse once we're done, and we'll see if there's more seashells spawning if we put the water on the outside and the sand on the inside. But we'll start with the water on the inside first. So let's go ahead and start putting in the sand. Now personally, I believe that we're going to get more shells when the water is on the outside. I noticed while I was farming for the castle that I would often find a lot of shells on islands that were of all sizes, some of them being really small, but there'd be a lot of shells per sand, and it was because it was of course surrounded by water. But we're gonna make sure we test everything, so we'll start with this method first, and once we have everything down, we're going to wait about 10 minutes. We'll stay in the same claim area, but we'll wait about 10 minutes and see just what we get. Alright, I'll come back when all of this is laid out and finished. And we're done. We have 4 testing blocks, one where there's nothing but sand, one with 1 block of water, another with a 3x3 block of water, and the last one has a 5x5 block of water. So we're going to put 10 minutes on the timer and come back and see what happens. So it's been about 10 minutes, and as you can see, we have nothing. But we're gonna give it a little bit more time, and we'll check back soon and see what we get. While we were waiting, I decided to go ahead and make the other 4 testing zones. These are all 9x9 squares, just like the first 4. The first one is going to have a ring of water around it on the outside that's 1 block wide. The second one will have 2 block wide of water, and the third 3 block wide water. The last one I decided to mix it up. We're going to combine both experiments. We're going to do an outer ring of water and some inner rings. So we'll see what happens. The original 4 have started to spawn some of the shells, and oddly enough, we have shells on the larger amount of water and on the one that has no water. So again, we're going to give it a little bit more time, and we'll see what happens with all 8 of these. So I did a little work on the castle and came back to check on our plots. So out of the original 4, it looks like the one without any water was the one that spawned shells first. Then the ones with water spawn 1 or 2 shells. Just now, as I just came back, the one without any water spawned a second one. So it's kind of iffy, not really great results at the moment. Looking at our 4 new plots, the ones with water on the outside, we can see that they're not doing that great except for the one that has water both on the outside and the inside. That already has 3, and it's doing it faster than the ones that have a good 30-minute head start. So it's not conclusive yet, but it looks like water on the outside and the inside is the way to go so far. Checking back in, we're looking at our results, and it looks like the worst one out of all 8 is the 3x3 sand surrounded by water. I don't think there's enough sand for any shells to spawn. The other ones that didn't do that great are the 5x5 sand at the top left there, surrounded by water. It only spawned 1 shell, and this one over here that's a 3x3 water surrounded by sand only spawned 1 as well. The rest all did about 2 shells per, with again the best one being this mix of water surrounded by sand surrounded by water with water on the inside. I'm going to pick up all the shells here, and I'm going to do this test one more time so that they all start at the same amount of time. We'll give it about an hour, we'll check back in, we'll stay in the area, and we'll see what happens. So after a lot of AFKing in the area, we're back and we have our test results. Looking at the right, the one with no water produced just one shell, and it took 10 times as long to do that. The far right at the top produced 3, but it also took a while to do that one. Looking at the far left, the 3x3 and the 5x5 sand plots, those only produce 1. It's just not worth it. I don't think there's enough sand to really produce any shells. Looking at the middle right, these both produce 2. They both have a lot of sand with a little bit of water, and I think that's kind of what we've learned from that, is that you're going to need a lot of sand with a little bit of water. The middle left at the bottom pretty much is that design. It's a lot of sand with some water. This produced 3 shells in a decent amount of time. The one above it with the water on the outside and the inside, our mixed plot, that also produced 3, but it did it in about half the time. I took the same design out in the real world and tested it out. It produced 4 shells in a decent amount of time. Now, is setting up a farm like this really worth it? I'm not sure. It's honestly maybe easier to simply just go out in the world, find a beach, and collect some shells. Maybe if you add a cactus flower farm to it, so it's a duo farm, it'll be worthwhile. I'll let you decide. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and hopefully check us out on Saturdays when Tam and I, along with the Valhalla gang, work on our Viking Village group build. Take care.